What's up, YouTubers? This is your boy Big Metro Fan 12 coming to you with another video game review. And in this review, I'm going to talk about the Jungle Book video game, which was released on the NES, Super Nintendo, Nintendo Game Boy, Sega Master System, Sega Genesis, Sega Game Gear, and PC by Eurocom and Virgin Games. And this game is pretty much based off of the 1967 Disney movie, The Jungle Book, which is an animated movie, of course, and the plot of the game pretty much follows the plot of the movie, which is that this young boy named Mao Ji have to leave his home in the jungle and go to a human village because he's being hunted by the tiger named Shere Khan. Now, for the sake of this review, I'm going to talk about the Genesis version mainly because all of the versions have like different each like version has a different number like stages to it, you know what I'm saying, in terms of design and all that. You know, unlike the Little Mermaid game, which was released on the Game Boy and the NES by Capcom, because both of those both versions of that particular game have the same stages and the same number of stages, you know. Or as far as the Genesis version, it has pretty much 10 stages, you know what I'm saying? While the other ones could have like 10 stages, 11 stages, what have you, depending on which version you're talking about. And you will pretty much encounter different animal characters from the Jungle Book movie, like Baloo, King Louie, Gen Khan, and others, you know what I'm saying? And pretty much the goal is to collect a certain number of gems to pretty much advance to the next stage. You know what I'm saying? And the number of gems is dependent on which difficulty that you set it on when you start the game. For example, if you put it on the easy mode, you pretty much collect 8. If it's normal, it's going to be 10 gems, and if it's the hard mode, it's going to be 12 gems. You know what I'm saying? It kind of reminds me of Packing Time in this regard. You have to collect a certain number of items to advance to the next stage. You know what I'm saying? Plus, you will encounter like different animal enemies throughout the course of the game, like I would say orangutans, porcupines, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? And you're not like defenseless or whatever because you start off with a banana projectile. You know what I'm saying, which is the default weapon. But if you hit like certain like bananas or whatever, or coconuts, you can get some power ups, which are invincibility mask, coconuts, double banana shots, and banana boomerangs. Of course, each weapon that you get has its own strengths and weaknesses, so you might want to use one according to where you at in a particular stage or in other states and stuff like that. For example, I could say that the double banana shot would be better in one stage than another. Same thing with the banana boomerang and everything. Now, the what I can say about the graphics and game, the graphics and design, it's pretty faithful to the movie. You know what I'm saying, in terms of the source material. You know, like how Baloo and Khan them look and all that. You know what I'm saying. Even though it didn't age as well as the movie did, in my opinion. Now, the controls and gameplay of the Jungle Book are pretty good, you know what I'm saying? And I do like it has a decent amount of weapons at your disposal when you get the power-ups and stuff like that. Now, the soundtrack to the Genesis version is good, but for some reason, the song "The Bare Necessities" wasn't included in the start screen, at least in terms of the instrumental version of that song. My thing is that regardless of how many versions of this game there is, in terms of the retro consoles, Bare Necessities should have been included in every version, regardless if you're talking about the NES, Super Nintendo, Game Boy, whatever. Because let's face it, the Bare Necessities is the theme song of the movie, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to the animated movie, of course. And I do know for a fact that that the NES has it. You know what I'm saying? And it's a pretty good 8-bit rendition, in my opinion. Now, another pretty much issue is not as big as the bare necessities song, but the fact I don't understand why all of the versions have different stages in it. You know what I'm saying? I'll say all of them should have had the same stages and then the same number of stages, pretty much like the Little Mermaid games that were released on the NES and Game Boy and stuff like that by Capcom. Not in my honest opinion, I would think that Capcom should have had the rights to the Jungle Book simply because they would have had the same number of stages. That's pretty much about it for as far as that. Now, if you happen to like the Jungle Book movie, the original 1967 animated movie, you will most likely like the video game adaptation based off of your personal preference of retro consoles when you're talking about the NES, Sega Master System, or Super Nintendo. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, sound off in the comment section about the Jungle Book video game. If you like the NES version or the Sega Genesis version, if you like the soundtrack, weapons, whatever the case may be. If you even want to talk about the original movie, that's okay also, you know what I'm saying? Now, if you like this video, don't hesitate to click the thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification button for further videos. This is your boy Big Metro Fan 12 signing off.